Good morning, children. This is the English video session for class 7. The book which we are doing now is Honeycomb, unit number 2. The name of the topic is A Gift of Chuckles. This is English video session for class 7. The book which we are doing now is Honeycomb, unit number 2. The name of the chapter is Gift of Chuckles. Yes, we all saw how the name Mahendra Varma Pandava Pune, MP Pune, was explained by Mridhu. He explains like, I am in page number 20, third paragraph. Actually, his full name is Mahendra Varma Pallava Pune, MP Pune. For short, if you like. He is a fine breed of cat. He gives an acknowledgement for the quality of the cat. Just look at its fur. It looks like a lion's mane. Have you all seen the lion's mane? It's so, fully covered, and it's so nice it adds more beauty to the lion. Yes. And you know what's the emblem of ancient Pallava kings? Ancient Pallava kings. Oh, he is now going deep into the history subject. Don't you? He is questioning the others. He looked expectantly at Mridu. So he expected Mridu could answer the question. Okay. Thinking I'm joking? Well, just wait. I'll show you something. Mridu giggled only to show that first it could be like he don't know, or he is totally fascinated by the imaginative story of Ravi. It's clear you don't know a thing about history. Okay. Now he's explaining the entire history of Mahendra Varman. Haven't you been to Mahabalipuram, have you? So he checks if he has been to, if Mridu had been to Mahabalipuram. He said mysteriously, well, when our class went to Mahabalipuram, I saw the statue of tatas, etc. Usually the ancestors of the grandfathers is called as tata. This is in the Tamil language. The fact is, Mahendran here is descendant. Descendant means what? Come from. Okay. That very same ancient cat. So there was a cat there, and this Mahendra Varma Pallava Pune has come from the descendant of this ancient cat, which is in Mahabalipuram. Okay. A close relative, scientifically speaking, none of them than the lion. So he must be a close relative of whom? And that too, he speaks not with reference to scientifically speaking, of none other than the Pallava, than the lion itself. The Pallava lion, emblem of the Pallava dynasty, Ravi went on, walking around the bitter berry bush. So, in order to make his speech eloquent and more admiring, he just keeps walking around the thick bitter berry bush, waving a twig. Also, he's having something. Usually the teachers or somebody uses a twig, raises up and down like that, and his eyes are sparkling because he's giving a lot of information about the mewing small cat. This cat is a descendant of none other than Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. So he declares that it is none other than the descendant of the Rishi cat only. And if I may just remind you, the worshipped cats in the ancient Egypt. So all the references connected to cats is well portrayed, brought, eloquently told by Ravi. And the others are totally absorbed in what Ravi is speaking. How he loved his own voice. Meena and Rudu exchanged looks. Huh? They couldn't understand what sound, what is it he's speaking. They were not able to understand. How he loved. Here he refers to the music as the sound of the cat. Very good. What does that have to do with anything? Ritu demanded. She wanted some explanation. What? This is totally absurd. What you speak is totally absurd. Huh. I'm telling you, this cat is descendant from the Egyptian cat god. No, goddess, Bastet. Yeah, that's it. So they go on Egyptian goddess, Bastet, reference to that, this. So, well, one of the descendants of the cat goddess was a stowaway, that is, someone who hides himself or herself in a ship or an aircraft and to travel unnoticed. Stowaway in one of the Pallava ships, and his descendants was in Mahabalipuram Rishikat, whose descendant is Ravi flourished his twig at Mahendran, MP Pune here. Whoop! Eek! He shrieked, very pleased with himself. So, what is the connection between Egyptian cat and the two cat god, that is Bastet, with Mahabalipuram Rishi cat? So it would have traveled, the Egyptian cat would have stowed secretly, traveled in a ship or aircraft and traveled to Mahabalipuram. That is what he says. And there he became Rishi cat, and that is MP Pune. Descendant means what? From that thing only came Rishipu, this MP Pune, that is Mahendra Varma Pallava Pune. So he was very pleased with himself because he was giving a very eloquent, elaborate, extreme summary of the history of the small kitten that is sitting in the torn football filled with sand and licking a half the shell of the milk from the coconut shell. So the eloquent explanation is over, and in fact, he's so very happy to have given such an eloquent explanation. Mahendran looked up alarmed. So why is he bringing a stick near me? Having given the milk also, he is bringing the stick. He had just been sharpening his claw on the edge of the coconut shell. But worse than Ravi's awful whoop eek was a screech. There was another sound that came from the window. What a weird sound! It was a weird sound, something strange, unusual. What is that sound? Okay, Mridu has been here after a long time. She didn't know. So, even she was shocked for the sound. If Mridu was startled, MP Pune was frightened. Okay, out of the wits, hair standing on the end. He bounced up and scurried towards the bamboo tray of red chilies that had been set out to dry. Trying to hide beneath it, he tipped a few chilies over himself. Meow, he Allah howled miserably. So the sound was so terrifying, so fearful, that the small kitten flew, ran, and tried to hide under the bamboo tree. The preaching went on and on. What's that noise? What's that noise? Said Mritu. That is Lali learning to play the violin. So, what is that? It's Lali learning to play the violin, grunted Ravi. Not only that, he gives another. She'll never learn a thing. The music master just go on playing like a train, whizzing on and on, while Lali is all the time derailing, going completely off track. So what happens? He is excellent and he is playing perfectly on the track, like the train moving on the track, on and on and on. But what happens to our Lali? She is not able to perform well. In fact, he says that she cannot learn a thing and she is going off track. She cannot do little, what to say, she, her attempts to do is a complete failure. That is what he means to say. Clear? She will never learn a thing. The music master just goes on playing like a train, whizzing on and on, while Lali is all the time derailing, going completely off track. So, this part 1 is over, and we have certain questions. I need to again continue with what is the secret that Meena shares with Mritu in the backyard. Do you remember what was she showing in the backyard? It was the kitten. How does Ravi get milk from the kitten for the kitten? He brings the milk from the kitchen. Yes, by fooling the grandmother. Who does he say kitten's ancestors are? The Pallavas and the ancient Greek goddess Bastet. Do you believe him? Definitely not. It is a beautiful cooked up story. Ravi has a lot to say about MP Pune. This shows that 1. He is merely trying to impress Mritu. His knowledge of history is sound. He has a rich imagination. He is an intelligent child. First and foremost, he is all the four. Which of the statements do you agree, disagree to? Definitely he is trying to impress Mritu as well as the girl, other one. Okay. His knowledge in history is also sound. He has a rich imagination also. And of course, he is an intelligent child also. Okay. What was the noise that startled Mritu and frightened Mahendra? The noise that frightened Mridu and frightened the cat, that is the kitten, was the violin sound of none other than Lali, who was playing the violin. Okay, please read part 1 again and come. We shall continue from there, and you have to read the part 2 also. With this, I stop. Thank you.